12 months ago, we found ourselves right here at the water's edge. Hi, my name's Patrick Lightfoot. I'm the lead pastor at Traverse Christian Church. Over the last 12 months, we have been positioning and preparing ourselves to become unhindered. I believe the greatest hindrance that we as a church have is we're a mobile church, and we do not yet have a permanent facility. And because we are hindered, I don't think we can reach as many people for Christ. We can't grow our faith like I want us to as a church. And you know what? We can be a bigger blessing to the Windsor Severance community. I want you to imagine with me for just a moment, what would it be like for us to have a permanent location to do ministry 7 days a week? Last October, we casted vision for a 24-month generosity initiative called Unhindered. Now, this Unhindered is called a one-fund generosity initiative. All the tithes and offerings that we collect each and every week, we put into one container. And in that container, it's divided into two parts. Unhindered is known for providing for the ministries and the work that we need to do today in the here and now, but also to pursue God's plans and future dreams for us as a church. Providing for the here and now. I want you to know over the last 12 months, I have been absolutely blown away by the things that we as a church have accomplished for the Lord. Let me just list some of these for you. We now have office space for our staff that we were able to have over at the Ice House the first week in February. The Ice House, we use that weekly to build and grow our student ministry. We've purchased live stream equipment to keep our church connected during this COVID season. We've added a part-time church administrator to our staff. We now have a monthly men's breakfast at the Ice House. And also next month, we are going to launch MOPS, Mothers of Preschoolers. Now, out of this one fund container, we need to fill it to provide, but we also need to overflow it to pursue the future for our church and God's plans and dreams for us. I want to pause and tell you, over the last 12 months, the overflow of our one fund has been $55,000, and I wanted to say thank you. We are positioning and preparing ourselves financially for what is next. But I want you to know, as a staff and leadership of the church, we've all been doing some things behind the scenes to prepare us. We now have a broker, we have a builder, we have a designer, and we have a building team of people that are going to lead and guide us once God parts the river and allows us to cross over into our permanent location. For those who have made a commitment over the last 24 months and you've given faithfully for the last 12 months, I want to pause and say thank you. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for staying committed to your commitment. That is so important. We are making decisions as a church based on not just the money that is coming in, but based on your commitments. If you're new to Traverse, I want to say welcome to our family. Thank you for being a part of this craziness. It's a crazy church, it's a fun church, it's a loving church, and we're so thankful that you're here. But here's what I want to challenge you or invite you into this opportunity. Starting next month, we're going to be doing a new series called Unhindered, the Refresh. And we're going to be casting vision for 4 weeks, and we're going to be sharing in more detail about this generosity initiative that we've already been in for 12 months, and we still have 12 more months to go. And we want you to be a part of it, and we want to invite you into it. I'm reminded of where we're at in this season as a church, that we're standing at the water's edge and we're gathering, we're preparing our provisions to cross over. And I'm reminded of a passage in Joshua chapter 1, verses 9 through 11. And this is what it says. This is my command. This is actually God talking to Joshua. And this is what he says: be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God will go with you wherever you go. I want to remind you of those words too. Where we're at as a church, be strong and courageous. Giving to the work of the church, you have to be courageous. It's a step of faith. And I believe giving financially, giving of your time, your treasure, your talents, it's a step of faith, and it is a growing step. And I want to invite you into that step. Also, I want you to not to be afraid or discouraged. During this COVID season, it's been very discouraging for a lot of people, but I believe the future is so bright for the church, and I believe it is immensely bright for us as a church. Joshua goes on and says this: he commanded the officers of Israel, go throughout the camp and tell everyone to get their provisions ready. For in 3 days you will cross the Jordan River and take possession of the land that your Lord, your God, is going to give you. We're not going to cross over in 3 days, but I do know this. 12 months ago, we stood up the bank a little further, but now, 12 months into this generosity initiative, we are really close to the water's edge. And I believe we are so close from God doing something big in the life in this church. And so I believe with all of my heart, God wants us as a church to become unhindered.